Wow. Uh, so let's get this out of the way for whoever is listening. We're filming it right now, and we've never done it to this degree before. But what's up, Jonathan?
Hey, Aaron, I'm excited. Glad to be here. I'm glad I'm getting the star treatment.
Yeah, the full treatment, dude. I feel like we're on ESPN. So you're from Australia.
Yeah.
And then you obviously you grew up there. What made you come to America?
I want to do comedy. I took a year-long visa and right out of college, and it was like I wanted to do a gap year, and I wanted to do comedy, so I think like London or Toronto, and then like America has a 1-year visa I took, so I did that, and then I liked it so much I stayed.
Nice, man. There's not like a big comedy scene in Australia.
It kind of grew a lot from when I started to when I left. Like I did it about a year and a half, and it was like maybe 2 mics a week when I started, and in Sydney, but Melbourne obviously has a much bigger scene because of the festival and stuff, and so
the festival.
You know the Melbourne Comedy Festival?
I do not know the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
It's probably, I'd say, the second biggest comedy festival in the world behind Edinburgh, and it's like a similar type of setup, but it's just comedy where people are doing hours, and like everyone does an hour, and you try and most comedians, that's how they like make most of their money in Australia, is trying to sell that hour, and that's how you get recognized, is you get an award or something, and so that's kind of like the biggest thing we have going for us. And but yeah, I liked it, and it was good, and I wanted to do a lot more, so I thought, and everyone knows Chicago, New York are the big places to do it, and I did a lot of research, and like New York was too expensive, so I chose Chicago.
Yeah, New York seems expensive as fuck. Also, I'm so glad you said Chicago, New York, and you didn't say LA. I'm so glad you didn't say LA.
Yeah, I looked at LA for a little bit, and everyone said it fucking sucks,
Yeah, what did you hear about LA?
I just heard that it was you couldn't really do it that much, and you were competing for stage time with like big acts and actors, who didn't even do comedy. But they could get good stage time because they were, they're famous. And everyone just said it was like not where you go. I listened to a lot of podcasts too, and they were all like, you gotta go somewhere like Chicago, and then go to New York, and then LA. And I had a friend who lived here too, so
nice. Okay,
made it pretty easy for me.
It worked out to where Chicago kind of made the most logical sense.
Yeah,
that gap year stuff, that is a specifically non-American thing. Like here they just we have this pipeline from high school straight into college.
Yeah.
Culturally, like, I don't know, man, do you feel like Australia is all that different from here, or do you feel safe here? Because I wouldn't.
I actually do feel safe here. I'm like I definitely have friends who have talked about hearing guns and that kind of stuff. But Australia is definitely much safer than here. Not even close.
Yeah.
But I love it here. It's so much fun. Like I feel like it's more dangerous, and it feels more dangerous, but there's more stuff to do compared to Sydney, at least. So.
Your family was cool with you just fucking off to?
Yeah, I mean they both did it. So both my parents are not from Australia, so they kind of did a similar thing where they were 20s and 30s and just left.
I get you. And I know the only Australian comedian I know is Jim Jeffries. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you hear that a lot when yeah. Does that get annoying at all?
No, I think Jim Jeffries is hilarious. Yeah, and he's so funny. The only thing that the misconception people have is that he got big in the UK first, and then America, and then Australia. So he wasn't even like that. He's not like one of our stalwarts of comedy there. He's kind of more like an American comedian to us, kind of.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't sound like there's industry in Australia like that.
Yeah, not really.
Right.
Most people move to London when they get enough. When they like how we would move to New York or LA, they move to London.
Okay, so you moved. What year did you move to?
2016.
2016. Oh shit! Right as Trump was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How was that for you?
I thought like everyone Hillary was gonna win, and then he won, and it was like it it was wild just seeing people cry. I've never seen people cry about an election before.
Yeah, I'm starting to understand why.
Yeah.
I remember when he first got elected. I mean, I don't know how into politics you are. You don't seem like a very political
No,
guy.
not at all.
Neither was I. Didn't give a fuck. I in my head I was like, oh, the president's just a figure. He's just a guy with a suit and he does some speeches or whatever. And after Trump became president, I realized like the importance of the tone that a leader sets.
Yeah.
And he just set such a fucking crazy tone
Yeah.
the past forever now. So yeah, I'd imagine it's embarrassing. I think when I meet somebody that's not from America and America fucks up, I just feel mostly embarrassed.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, a lot of Australians loved Trump. A lot of people in the UK
why?
I think they just love the nationalism, the same reasons people like him here, where he's just like he says what he thinks and all that stuff. So it really it happened in Australia too. Like where a lot of politicians were using Trumpism as like a platform. They were saying like make Australia great again. All these things. And
do they have Do they have like MAGA hats but for Australia?
I'm sure they tried it, but it didn't catch on.
Okay, that's good. At least they have some dignity left.
Yeah.
When you first moved to Chicago, 2016, what was it like for you? Like, did you make friends quickly, or what was the scene like?
Yeah, I made friends pretty quickly. I mean, I took improv classes and did stand up, and I feel like that's such a good way to find community. And we all do it because we love comedy, we're interested in it, and it's like it's like the easiest friends I've made like ever.
Yeah, dude, you have a crew, right? Like you
Yeah.
have a group of. I'm so jealous.
It took me a long time to get it.
I believe that. But this is my first time moving far away from home. So I'm and not even nearly as far as you've done, and I'm really impressed by that. I talked to, oh my god, I can't pronounce your last name, but Julia, she runs
Red Room?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I talked to her about her whole thing of moving and that culture shock. And I don't know, anytime somebody just kind of up and leaves everything they know, it's a really intense experience. At least it's been for me. And I've been here, I think a little over a year now, like a year and a few months. And I have like a friend, I would say, like
someone you text and call and stuff, and
someone
rely
I talk
on.
to consistently. But how long for you did it take until you were like, oh, I have a group of friends? Like, I'm not here alone.
Probably it took me a few years before I felt truly like I had a crew. I started a show with Shanklin, and then he added Luke, and then I feel like we just kept adding people we kind of liked, and starting a show was the best way to make a friend, because like you have to talk to each other all the time and then eventually just become friends. So.
Andrew Shanklin.
Yeah.
I remember him.
Yeah.
I have a really shitty memory, so if you ever see me and I ask the same questions or whatever, that's where that comes from. But he's a wacky guy.
He's absolutely nuts.
And so you guys just kind of clicked pretty early on.
Yeah.
He's from out here?
Yeah, he's from the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay. I'll probably hit him up and bother him about doing this eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as I gotta address it. What's up, man? It's really intense, dude. It's making it feel like way more serious.
I know. It feels like a real interview.
Yeah.
I think and you're going for a hang, but
yeah. So thank you for making it so goddamn professional looking, because this is crazy. But so, I mean, you see, like okay, so I'm scatterbrained. So when it comes to comedy, my philosophy is like to acknowledge usually the more uncomfortable thing in the room. And there's something about that puts people at ease. Like, I'm even getting self-conscious about how dirty the goddamn table is.
I know there's like a lot of professional light on it now, I feel like.
Yeah, they're gonna see all of the stains and goddamn pretzel crumbs.
Yeah.
But you were saying you don't really like to be in front of the camera.
I feel like I get uncomfortable very easily, and I feel that way on stage, and it doesn't help that I don't watch any of my clips ever. Like, I never watch it. I get, like, when I post reels, I asked a friend to do it, and I just post it. it's gone, you know.
Yeah.
I think I've always been very self-conscious, and comedy was like a great outlet for me to express myself, but having to do all this editing and stuff, having to promote yourself so much is truly a nightmare. So
yeah, man, you've always, I mean, I don't know, that's why I do all of this was to get to know comics, and you've always come off to me, and without knowing you, as a kind of just a quiet, sweet guy is how I would view you. And I can't see you being the guy who's like, hey, watch all my bullshit. Here's all my stories.
Yeah.
You really go low key with stuff. Is that worked for you in terms of career stuff?
Oh, no. I've been doing it with like 7 years. I feel like I keep meeting people who do put themselves out there and are very deliberate in what they're doing, and I'm so jealous of it. But it's like I don't know. I don't know what I can change. Like I don't know. My constitution will allow me to do like new stuff like that. I'm just like, but I just love doing it, so I'm just gonna. I don't think I'll ever stop. So
yeah, same. I love doing it too. I'm also learning how to what's the word? How to whore myself out, essentially.
Yeah.
Like I meet some of these comics who have been doing it, and I'm really working on my jealousy. I get real jealous. I get fucking angry. I'm a very mean person internally.
Hey, same.
and I see some of these comics who have been doing it less time than me.
Yeah.
And they start popping, and I it's like I got a therapist, so I'm talking to him about it. But it's like I get angry. I'm like, why the fuck can't I do that?
Right.
Do you growing up? You were always kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Did that? I mean, I don't know what do bullies exist in Australia?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't know. You guys always just seem nice. I'm ignorant as fuck when it comes to Australia specifically. Were you, if you don't mind me asking, were you like bullied, or were you?
I don't think so. I think I just kind of always had
blocked it out.
Yeah, I just had blocked it out. I was always like so low key that people like wouldn't bully me because I was just like so.
You just went under the radar.
I saw under the radar, you know. I don't know where it came from. I just think, just got self-conscious. I don't know. Maybe my parents fucked me up some way. I don't know. They yelled a lot, so I feel like I always like went under the radar because of that.
Your parents were yellers?
Yeah. Big fighting all the time, you know.
Oh, fighting with each other.
Yeah. They had a divorce. Where it was like, it wasn't like a bad divorce because like their relationship was so bad, so it was like very relieving when they split up. So
how old were you?
10.
Okay, that's a pretty formative time to be.
Yeah. It was like I was 10 and they got divorced, and then my mom moved us to Malaysia, where she's from. So I lived there for 6 years.
The fuck? Okay, Okay, so let me break down your timeline here. So you're in Australia.
Yeah.
Existing, your parents are yelling and you're being quiet. And then they divorce. Your mom takes you to Malaysia.
Yeah.
For 6 years. So you were 16 in Malaysia.
Yeah, 10 to 16.
And then you move
back to Australia. Mm-hmm.
Well, first off, dude, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
You are very quiet. Okay. All right. I'm getting your vibe, man. Okay, so you're in Malaysia. First off, I know nothing about Malaysia. Do they speak English?
You can get by with English, but the official language is Malay, which is it's very similar to Indonesian. But there's like 3 main races in Malaysia. There's Malay, Chinese, and Indian. So they kind of speak like Cantonese and Tamil as well. A lot of the people, not everyone, but the Indians speak Tamil. The Chinese speak Cantonese.
What do you speak?
I speak nothing.
How the fuck did you?
I just got by with English. Like you can really.
Okay.
Everyone kind of also speaks enough English, so like you'll never be confused if you go to a store and just speak English. You're fine. You know.
Okay. And what was that like? Like maybe this is a culture thing because in America we're so fucking America.
Yeah.
We don't need to go nowhere. We got everything because we're America. And the idea of just like, I'm just going to go to fucking Malaysia or Taiwan or whatever is crazy to us. But it seems like in Australia and England, from what I'm gathering, you guys are big on just like going places.
Yeah.
So for you guys, culturally, that was normal to just
fucking
go somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, like, Malaysia was kind of the place I'd travel to the most because my mom would always bring us back there to see family. So when we moved there, I was kind of used to, like, the food and walking around. Like, I was very used to, like, the settings and how the people were. But, yeah, just, like, moving anywhere, getting, like, uprooted and having to, like, move and make new friends was extremely difficult. So I think that's maybe where I got the being quiet from, is like just moving, like having to like start over again. But there are obviously other people who did great.
Yeah. So it seems like for moving to Chicago, you were built for that shit. Like that wasn't even.
I know. It's because I didn't really like have any. I feel like I never like put down strong roots and like had to stay. Like I didn't have like these big networks of friends and stuff that would keep me anywhere. So yeah, I just decided to move.
That is, I would say, kind of the opposite of my upbringing. I wouldn't describe myself necessarily as a townie, but I stayed in one area, one city my whole life. When I went to college, it was only like an hour 30 south.
Yeah.
And then I moved back. So I had never lived so far away. So it sounds like, you know, I guess for me, moving to Chicago was a huge culture. Like it's been a big thing, and I'm fucking 31. How old are you?
29.
29? Okay. Yeah, man. I moved out here at 30. And so it just, for me, it's a big culture shock. So when I meet someone like you, one who's very quiet, very different from me.
Yeah.
Who's very quiet and calm. And I guess, I don't know if malleable is the right word.
Yeah.
I'm
a people pleaser. Hell yeah.
Do you know where that comes from? People please, like for you?
I think it was my parents fighting. I was always like trying to
keep them calm,
keep the house calm, and just like not step on anyone's toes. Because definitely my mother had anger issues and would snap a lot. So, and she was very high strung. So I was always trying to keep the peace in my family. I feel like because I was the oldest in at least out of my parents. Like my dad had a previous marriage, but like in my family, whatever, I was the oldest, so I feel like I got a lot of responsibility, especially when they split up. I was like look after my brother a lot.
Right. You're okay. You're oldest. You have how many siblings?
I have one brother, but my dad had a previous marriage, and so he has 3 other kids, and my mom married after, and she has 2 new kids. So there's like 6. There's 7, and half of them aren't related to each other. So
right.
Yeah.
So how do I put this? I don't know, man. When I meet somebody as quiet and as calm as you are, I always get surprised by the decision to do stand up of all things. Like, do you know when did that spark start happening?
I was always obsessed with comedy. Like my whole life, I got really into SNL and Mad Magazine when I was very young, and then when I was in college, I was just kind of really bored and took an improv class, and then did an open mic, and I was like, oh, I'll just do this. This is what I've been this is what I've been like waiting for, you know.
What was it about it that clicked so hard for you?
I think I'd always try to be funny. Like I was always trying to tell jokes, and I was always disgusting, and and stand up was the best place to do it. Like just you could be filthy, and it was fine, you know.
It sounds like a freedom, like
yeah. It was an outlet.
Right.
I'd never had an outlet before.
That makes sense. You did like sports or anything?
I played soccer a lot.
Okay.
But
do they call it soccer in Australia?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because we have our own football, which is rugby. We call rugby football. So yeah.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm making an assumption.
Go for it.
It feels like there's a lot more like darkness in here. Let me please tell me if I'm wrong here, because I don't know you. Yeah. The whole purpose of this is to get to know you. But when I meet people that are fairly quiet or reserved, I find people like you interesting because I know you're listening. Like, you're paying attention.
Yeah.
I used to get yelled at all the time. Like, adults would say things like, if you're talking, you're not listening.
Yeah.
And I fucking yap. And I've always been like loud and boisterous, and it's always gotten me in trouble. And I've always found myself gravitating towards quieter people who will they'll just let me, like literally right now. This is technically your interview.
I love it.
But people like you will indulge my fucking insanity in talking. And I know that I assume when people are talking, you're paying attention. Like you seem like locked into people when they're talking.
I think so. Yeah, I try to.
I have this quote that I've always found interesting, and I want to know what you think of the quote. This is going to be the weirdest goddamn.
I love it.
Okay, good. Hold on, let me find it. You're welcome to ask whatever if you're curious, but I don't know.
So you grew up in Irvine, right?
No, Riverside.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
So you went to did you go to UC Riverside?
No, I wasn't smart enough for that shit. I went to Cal State San Marcos, which was like it was a new state school, and I majored in mass media and communication because I was just like, my mom was like, you're gonna do something.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if you knew this, American Sign Language interpreter.
Oh yeah. I really remember that.
I have a bit about it, and here it is. So yeah, I'm an American Sign Language interpreter, and when I went to college, I fucking hated it. I don't know how school was for you.
Yeah.
But for me, I just felt dumb. Like I wasn't good at school and the way it structured things. I'm sure I have ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was too all over the place for this shit. And but I guess I'm happy I got the degrees because now I have a job and I can do my thing. But it was pretty difficult for me. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here's the quote. Beware the quiet man, for while others speak, he watches. While others act, he plans, and when they finally rest, he strikes. That is, not to say that you're going to strike, but I mean, when you're, I feel so bad that you were the first person to have to test this shit out.
It's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
because I know it's way more intense than it normally is.
I'm just nervous anyway. I would have been this nervous on any any recording.
Okay, because my goal is I want people to feel comfortable when I do this.
Yeah.
And I also understand that it's weird. It's weird fucking trying to get to know somebody in this context, knowing like we're recording things that's going to go out and people are going to listen to it. It's weird. And I'd imagine for a quieter person, this is an intense way to talk to somebody. I'm sure you'd have preferred we just chat at a mic.
No, this is fine. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, it is intense, but I need to get used to it, So I'm really, I really am appreciative of the opportunity.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you where do you see yourself in like 5 years in this comedy game?
I want to move to New York in the next 1 or 2 years. I feel like that's, just someone told me it was like when he moved out there, it was just like you're paying for a beating, and I think I'm ready for that beating.
Why do you feel like you're ready now?
I think I've just like done. I feel like I went like a month ago to visit and just like did some shows and hung out, and I found it very inspiring. Like it was just like a whole new. I feel like this sounds so stupid, but it's like I feel like I've done all I can here. Like I feel like I kind of know what I want to do, and I've learned all I can from the scene here, and it's just like people there were like a lot tighter. Like the comedy was a lot tighter and put together in a way. Like the base level comedian, like everyone's bits were like, I was just like, oh, it's like a whole new. The way they just did it was different, and I wanted to learn from that.
I haven't been to New York yet.
Mm-hmm.
I do look forward to visiting. I'm biased to Chicago. This is the happiest place I've ever been.
It's so great.
And I hear New York is dirty. That's what.
Yeah, it's filthy.
Okay, so that's not word.
Like the thing about the rats, what they tell you is like there's more than you think. It's like
really?
they're just like everywhere. Like here you just see them in like it's true about the alleys. It's like that's where they go, but you see them just like running all over the place, like in front of you, and like just like walking down the street. It's just like constant.
And all the New Yorkers don't even register.
No, no.
They're just normal. They're just living in filth, and they're fine with it.
Yeah.
So when you say the style of comedy, what, like crisper? Is it, what is it?
I thought it was crisper. Like it was just like more put together. Like everyone had like very well put together bits with like strong punchlines, and I feel like here there's a lot of people, like I do a lot of short jokes, kind of like something like not a one-liner but something close to that, and other people do like sort of like long drawn out bits, and I felt like people there had like they had both, like they could do it all. They could do a long bit with like a lot of strong punchlines in the middle, and it felt like you can't really get anywhere without doing that. And I'm a big believer that you will sink or swim whenever you go somewhere, so you will either adapt or fail. And I feel like I want that challenge now. I feel a little, not, I guess the word is bored here. Like I feel like uninspired a little bit, and just because I feel like I've done most of the shows that I fit the style of and that kind of thing, so I just like want something new.
I get that. I don't think you're saying you're a big fish in a small pond, but it sounds like there's been a creative glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've hit it, and that makes sense. So you want to move to New York? You gonna bring Shanklin with you?
He might, yeah, I hope so. In the next, or I hope I'll move there and he'll come soon.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I'm gonna give you a compliment, and I get the vibe you don't really take compliments well.
Terribly, yeah. Okay. But go for
it. Here's my compliment, and that is you are an incredibly adaptable person. It sounds like you. I'm specifically thinking on the idea of loneliness.
Yeah.
I'm projecting my feelings onto you right now. I've been very lonely.
Project away. Yeah.
Okay,
Same. Yeah, me too.
As someone from Australia's hot as fuck, right? Sunny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I come from a hot, sunny place as well. And coming out here, I love the weather. I like seasons happen and shit. But Christmas time is hard. It's like, it is grueling.
Yeah.
It's dark and it's dreary and you don't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's lonely. I've been like dealing with a lot of loneliness.
Yeah.
But you either hide it really well or don't feel it at all. Do you get lonely?
Not as much. I feel like moving to Chicago, I made a lot more friends, and I met my wife here, and we kind of. I got married like after my year. I married my girlfriend for a green card. To stay.
Really?
Yeah. And so I just, for Christmas I go to her family, and they're nice,
Okay, so this is what, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much in there that I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to dig out.
Yeah.
So you're where's the ring?
Oh, it was like, it felt like kind of like a not legitimate marriage, because we got married after only a year, and it was for a green card. But now we've been together the whole time, so I'm like, yeah, maybe I should wear one, but I don't know.
Is she a comic?
She does. I met her in improv class.
Okay,
but she does comedy. Yeah.
All right. So you move from Australia, you move to Chicago.
Uh-huh.
You meet a girl in improv class. Yeah. Sparks fly, music happens. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Start dating for a year. And you're about to get kicked out of the country or something?
Yeah, I would have had to go back.
That's a harrowing story.
Yeah.
That's okay. And then you're like, babe, I need to stay here.
Yeah, I was like, do you want to do it? And
she was like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a ride or die.
Yeah.
There, bro.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're married. Do people know that?
Yeah, most people know it, I think.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't. I guess the whole.
I don't have anything in my act about it. Mostly just because I don't like to be personal, really. I like to mostly just keep it very surface level, which might be a problem with me.
Can I ask, because again, I guess opposites here, because I'm the literal opposite of that, as I'm sure you've already picked up on.
Yeah.
Because you're the quiet man and you'll strike one day.
Uh-huh.
What is there? That's a deliberate decision artistically that you're making to kind of not be personable,
Yeah.
not put yourself out there.
Yeah.
May I ask why? What was the approach to that?
I don't know. I just feel like it's always. I think it's just kind of more fun to be absurd and like. I love comics like Dave Attell and like Martin Urbano, who are very just like talking about, almost nothing about themselves, and you kind of don't really have any window into their personal life. And it's just like something I like a little better, it's more comfortable for me, and it's kind of it's the comedy I prefer. And but might change one day, who knows, if I keep growing and learning.
We are polar opposites.
Yeah, I know.
So to me, it's like, and I'm just such a fucking emotional wreck. But for me, it's like I need the audience to understand me, man.
Yeah.
I want them to get my soul, man. And my guys are like Bill Burr.
Yeah,
he's one of my guys. Dave Chappelle, though I know that's a controversial take.
Oh no, Old Chappelle is all time. You can't.
Yeah, it's. I mean, he does. It seems like he's gone away from the trans stuff now, but it was getting for me. It was getting to a point of like, I don't want to hear about this.
I know.
Like, I'm tired.
Yeah, I really don't like when comedians like talk about. It's like not even just talking about yourself, but talking about your own, like hype or like your own controversy, which is.
Yeah.
I really just I don't find it appealing, but.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I guess I can't imagine what it's like to be on that level where you're considered a comedy legend and how you approach that. It must be hard, and I guess this is where your approach is so smart, because whenever you get famous, your comedy doesn't rely on literally what is happening in your life. It sounds like, and so like someone like Kevin Hart, for instance. I love early Kevin Hart, is hilarious to me. I don't know if you saw, I think it's called No Fucks Given on Netflix.
No, I didn't see it.
It was during quarantine. He did a comedy special in his living room, and he had a whole bit about how he has a stove top pizza and shit. And I was like, dude, I can't relate to having a mansion. Like, I don't know what this feels like.
Yeah.
And I guess I think that's why Bill Burr is a big guy for me, he's so easily relatable while also being one of the greats to me. And I think, again, I'm going to give you another compliment. Maybe this will just be a practice in becoming famous.
I love it.
But you seem emotionally even keel. Like, I don't see you blowing up and beating your wife or anything like that. I don't know if you ever thrown a punch in your life. You don't seem like that guy. I don't know. You are wearing a black hoodie.
Yeah,
so who knows? But have you ever been in a fight?
No. I've been hit in the face before, but
What did you do?
I don't think I did anything. Like, I was like, it was my friend who I was about to leave. This was like my last night in Malaysia, and my friend was like in a fight with his girlfriend, and I guess he didn't like how I was acting. I think it was like being too confident. So I was like getting too confident and okay with myself. He just like hit me in the. He was like had a fight with his girlfriend. He also had like drug problems, whatever. But just like hit me in the face, and then my eye was like it was like a piece of bread. It's like a bread roll in my eye.
Yeah, man.
And it was just like crazy. It was wild, but
that seems pretty crazy.
Yeah. I was like, I'm a people pleaser. I've done everything to make sure this doesn't happen to me.
Right. That's fucked up. I don't like that guy. Is he still your friend?
No.
Yeah. Fuck him. I don't know his name. Kyle.
Fuck that guy.
Kyle. Fuck you, Kyle. He's not gonna listen to this probably.
Yeah.
You don't seem like a guy who wants fame, to be honest.
I don't know. I think I do, but I feel like I would hate it, if I actually got it. But I'd love money.
That's fair. Yeah. Fame with comedy, fame usually comes with money.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be? Yeah. How do you plan on making money in this? Are you gonna be like a road dog or?
I think writer at some point is the most
lucrative.
Yeah, the most attainable for me. It feels like. Just some sort of any kind of show that'll have me. It feels like now it's kind of changing where writing jobs aren't really becoming a thing anymore. You kind of like need to make your own, develop your own fan base. So I think I need to like do sketch or like keep posting reels to kind of develop a following is how, which seems the way forward for like everyone in comedy.
Yeah. Do you have fans?
No.
No.
Not. I don't think so. Not really.
Really?
I don't think I've ever had anyone come out to a show from seeing me on the internet.
Really? I'm surprised by that, actually. I can see you getting... I can see you hitting a particular demographic really well.
I know. I feel like there is a demographic for me, but I just don't know where they are. I don't know how to get to them.
They're also quiet, so they're not going to probably...
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, and I guess one way we can relate is there would be a discomfort with... I also don't take compliments well.
Mm-hmm.
All of this cheeriness is just masking my inner pain, and I'm taking therapy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Oh fuck, dude, it's so frustrating. And the therapist I got is like, I don't want to say he's aggressive. He's blunt though.
Mine was blunt too.
Yeah. Did he just like when he does this thing where I'll talk and he'll be writing shit down. And then I'll say something that I guess I normally say every time I talk to him, and he'll be like, "You're doing that again." I'm like,
Whoa.
I'm like, all right, cool. Why am I giving you money? What am I?
It does feel that way a lot of time. Mine was always just like, well, I feel like I was just paying someone to be like, well, that's crazy what you're saying. I was like, yeah, you're right, it is.
How long did you do therapy for?
I did it for I think like 8 months. And then I changed jobs and I had to like wait for the insurance to come, and I haven't really got back on it. But I've been feeling better, so kind of I feel like I'm gonna stay off it for a while until I have another mental breakdown and then go again.
Did you tell me to not ask if you don't want to ask, but like, did you have a mental break? Like, were you?
It was from COVID. Like I'm a hypochondriac, and I became an even bigger hypochondriac during COVID because I think everyone had something that they fucked them up during COVID, and it was just I kept thinking I was had a crazy disease. Like I really believed it.
Do you? That's intense.
Yeah.
You've always been a hypochondriac?
A little bit. I've always had like a bit of it, and I think that came from my mom because she her mother and her younger brother both died of cancer when she was in her 20s. So like I think she like transferred a lot of that onto me. Like she was always very worried, and so. I don't
know if you get cancer from dirt, do you?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
I guess you can get cancer from fucking anything these days. But
just like genetics. Yeah. So it's like.
So how do you handle the like? Are you good? Like, do you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I'm fine. I got over it. It was just during COVID. There's like nothing else to think about, and you just keep looking at symptoms and stuff, and
right.
Just
and
on WebMD.
Crazy people who won't wear a mask.
Right. I know.
That shit was. I'm working on my anger.
Yeah.
That was very infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you lost anybody during COVID.
No.
Yeah. My uncle died from COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So when I would hear people bitch about the mask, I'm like, it would make me angry. I'm like, dude, it's not just.
Yeah.
Just. I don't want to wear it either. Like, just fucking wear the. It's not that big of a deal. Like,
yeah.
But do you hit the road often?
Not often. I've done a few. I've done like Skyline and Appleton, and a few road shows like the Iowa Mansion show, the haunted one. If you ever done that one, that was pretty good. But all the times I've done it, I feel like it was it's like I usually do pretty bad on the road. my style of ironic, high-minded comedies doesn't translate to rural America for sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting better at. I think I have a plan for how I want to try it next time. I feel like you need to really slow it down and be like, I'm from Australia, and this is, just like really be like, just really hit them over the head and
spoon feed them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds
condescending.
but it's how I feel.
And your feelings are valid, Jonathan. They're valid.
Yeah. You've been doing the road. You're doing Madison soon, right? Best in the Midwest.
Comedy on Stage.
That'll be sick.
Dude, have you been to Comedy on Stage?
I've only done the mic, and it's incredible. So,
right?
Yeah.
Like they're all locked in.
Yeah.
And they laugh so big.
You feel like a rock star.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It feels so fucking cool, and I'm really excited for it. I like chaos.
Yeah.
And there's something chaotic to me about hitting the Midwest too. Not obviously we're in the Midwest, but like the Midwest, rural Midwest, because they don't get me either. If anything, I think I upset them. I think you probably confuse them and I make them angry. I would love to do a show together out in fucking bumfuck Indiana just to see what would happen. Probably go very poorly for us, but no, I'm Mr. Have a Point and race and the man, and they don't fucking want to hear that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't.
Has anybody gotten mad at your comedy?
Never really any mad, just like deafening silence. You know, in Appleton, Wisconsin, it was really rough.
How do you just power through?
I just power through. I'm like, well, you're not gonna like it. There's nothing I can pull out right now that'll change this all. You know, so
you just accept your bombs.
Just eat it.
Dude, see, I fucking. I've gotten better at this, but I used to get mad at the audience.
Yeah. I watched a lot of people do it, and I was like, that's not the move.
Yeah, calling them stupid for not laughing at your jokes isn't gonna make them like you more.
Yeah. I know. I feel like everyone references that Bill Burr Philly tape. Everyone's like, this is the best, and then they try it, and it doesn't work at all. Yeah,
that's a once in a lifetime moment.
Yeah,
and it's Bill fucking
right.
He's really good at insulting you in just the funniest goddamn way.
He has like the style down, and he's probably been doing it like 20 years at that point, and he's one of the best to do it. So it's like, I don't know why people try to do that.
Right. I get you. All right, we're gonna wrap this up soon. I guess before we do, thank you for being the guinea pig for. How are we looking?
Oh,
perfect.
Hell yeah.
That's all I need.
Nice.
Thank you for being the guinea pig for
Of course.
So do you know Max Thomas?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I got him. We're doing this. You're good for Sunday still? We got him on Sunday, and I feel like he should have been the guinea pig for like his personality fits.
He's huge.
His hair alone. I feel like his hair matches how big his personality is.
Yeah.
Like he fits this, and I think we've just thrown you in the deep end of the intensity of it. And I just thank you for I guess adjusting to this.
Of course.
To the best of your ability.
No problem.
I guess we'll take this picture. You'll do your thing, and we'll do it.
Cool.
This was fun,
No,
man.
this was fun. Thank you so much.
Yeah.